There are some things in life that just go together. In the world of web development, Dreamweaver and Flash have been partners for a long time. This lengthy relationship has led to some pretty impressive integration. Whether it's placing Flash content on the page, going back and forth between Dreamweaver and Flash as you work on your content, or integrating video into your website, Adobe has made the process seamless. In this chapter, we'll take a look at integrating Flash content onto your page, setting your Flash content properties, exploring Flash and Dreamweaver integration, and finally, integrating video into our website by using built-in Flash controls. First, let's take a look at the process of placing Flash content on your page. Integrating Flash into your website is as simple as having access to the Swift file. So here I have the mission.html file open in the 1501 folder, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and we have an area down here on the bottom where we're going to place a banner ad. So I'm going to place my cursor right after the last paragraph and hit return. It's going to give me a little bit of empty space there. And there are a couple of different ways to insert Flash files into your pages. First, you could go to Insert, Media, Swift. You could also go to your Insert panel and click on the Media Objects, and there's also the Swift option. Or you can go to the Assets panel, and you could click on the Flash Assets. The Assets panel is going to show you all of the different Flash assets in your site. You'll notice that we see our Swift files or SWF files and not the FLA files. We could drag and drop these directly on the page, but we can also do that from the Files panel. I'm going to switch over to the Files panel. I'm going to go up to the _assets directory, and I can see in that file I have a banner ad _FLA and a banner ad _SWF. Now, it's important that you understand the difference between the two. The FLA is the development file. That's the file that the Flash designer or developer is going to be creating your Flash content with. And the SWF or Swift file is the file that you're going to be placing on your page. So whether you use one of the methods from the menu or the Insert panel, dragging and dropping from the Assets panel, or dragging and dropping from the Files panel, the result is going to be the same. So I'm just going to drag and drop from the Files panel. And when I release the mouse, Dreamweaver is going to prompt me for some object tag accessibility attributes. This is a good way to make your Flash content a little bit more accessible. And I'm just going to type in banner ad for the title of that particular movie. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And there is my Flash content on the page. Now, if I go ahead and save my file, you'll notice that Dreamweaver is telling me it needs to copy some dependent files over for us in order to make the Flash content run smoothly. So you can see it's going to add a scripts directory, and it's going to place an express install Swift file and a Swift object modify.js. I'm going to talk about what those do for us in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I'm going to switch over to code view so we can talk about those external files a little bit more clearly. So all the code that you see on the page right now was generated by dropping that Flash movie onto our page. So why do we need so much code for something as simple as a Flash movie? Well, unfortunately, Internet Explorer doesn't play nice like some of the other browsers do. So in order to make sure that our Flash content is going to be viewable, we have to make sure that we're not triggering the ActiveX barriers that Internet Explorer can put up. That's where that external JavaScript file comes in. Now we have a lot of browser sniffing going on, and we can check to see which version of Flash Player people have, what version of the browser you have. And this express install.swf file goes ahead and makes it easier for your users to install Flash if they don't already have it installed. So this code is dealing with all the different browser types out there, making sure that the Flash file is visible within those browsers, and then giving your users options if the Flash file isn't visible, such as installing or upgrading to the latest version of Flash. Now I'm going to switch back to Design View, preview that in my browser, and there is our Flash banner ad. And we can see there are a couple of problems with it. It just sort of is looping uncontrollably, and it sure does look like it's missing some content. So that's probably something we're going to have to deal with a little later on down the road. Now, as I mentioned before, it seems like an incredibly simple procedure. You're just dragging and dropping files onto the page. But between the ActiveX controllers, Flash player detection, and browser sniffing that's going on behind the scenes, it is worth noting just how much work Dreamweaver is doing for you. Make sure you pay attention to the external files that are being added to your site. And I'm going to close my browser, go back into Dreamweaver, and once again I'm going to highlight the scripts file that has our external files in it that Dreamweaver copied over for us. And when you upload your site, just make sure you upload those files as well and keep them in exactly the same location. That way, your Flash content is guaranteed to perform as advertised.